Hi, we're now going to take a look at EDA with a replication report server. If you haven't already viewed the introduction to EDA video, you may want to go back and check that out before you get into this one because it does provide some foundational knowledge that you may find useful in grasping the concepts in this slightly more advanced video. So I'm Tim Snyder. I'm CSE manager with Rocket Software. My team provides delivery services for our multi-value customers. Here's some links you might find useful if you'd like to follow along with the demos. We have the XDemo account for Unidata and Universe, and we have it for Windows and Linux. There's also the EDA Schema Manager, which is used quite extensively in these EDA demos, and the EDA CheckX utility, which we'll be using to scan for and help you repair dirty data. So why do you need a separate reporting server? Well, this reporting and data extraction it adds overhead to your environment. If you have the same environment providing all the information for your online users, maybe you have 1,000 users, or thousands of users accessing this information, and you add the overhead of reporting and data extractions, that can tend to slow things down and it can impact performance in a noticeable way. Also, if you're using EDA mapped files, if your only copy of a file is EDA mapped, you're probably going to be disappointed with performance. This isn't anything against EDA, it's just the reality of what's going to happen when you take something like a multi-valued environment and try and squeeze it into first normal form. No matter how efficiently it's written, there's going to be a lot of overhead to making all that work. And so, the speed of updates is definitely a justifying reason for a separate report server. And now, this is an FYI, EDA map files may not be published in a replication environment. It's just simply not allowed by the U2 data replication environment. So the U2 data replication works in a publisher subscriber architecture. It starts out with a publishing server, and that's where the users directly connect, or they connect through a cloud. And you have one or more subscribing servers. They're constantly in sync with the publisher. Data is constantly being pushed over on a record by record basis from the publisher to the subscriber. If in the event of an outage, you can swap servers. You can change a publisher to a subscriber and a subscriber to a publisher. And that way you have minimal downtime because the subscriber systems are always in sync and it's by failing over. Now that's great if you do have an outage, but there are other reasons you might want to do this, such as what we were talking about, by removing the burden from your publisher. Uh, that in this case, it might be, even if it's offline for maintenance, you're still going to have access just to the subscribers, and that helps you improve your performance with the HADR. So with the publish subscriber architecture, we see down at the bottom, we have business analytics working against a subscriber rather than the publisher. And that's helping us in moving the load off of our production server. So when we map EDA files on the subscriber copy, the EDA map file, will always be up to date. Now, as of a few seconds after something is committed on the publisher, you can expect it to be updated on the subscriber. In this case, if the subscribed copy is an EDA map file, then that's great. So now we've removed the burden from the production server, all the burden of updating the EDA file and swapping those multi-values for separate rows in tables. All that will be happening for you automatically. And the latency and applying the data to the EDA map files won't really matter. It's not going to impact your production users because it's tucked away off onto a subscriber. So we're going to do a quick demo showing the EDA data flow. We'll create a record on the publisher. We'll show that the subscribed copy is automatically updated and it's immediately there. As soon as you do the update, you're going to see it in SQL. Here we have two sessions logged into Unidata. One's logged in as a publisher and the other is logged in as a subscriber in the Replication Enterprise. We can tell that by using a list replication file on a file. So we can see that the members file is published over here. And it's subscribed over here. So now we can see we have a Replication Enterprise set up. Let's take a look at a record 002 on the members file. And we see I have a last name of Werner. And we'll come over here. And of course, the subscriber has the same data. Let's also check it out in SQL. And there we see 0002 is Werner. Now to say we want to change that, instead of Werner, we want it to be Warner. I'll go ahead and file that on the publisher. And now we'll go ahead and check it on the subscriber. And there we see it was changed to Warner. And now let's check it in SQL. We'll have to refresh. And there we see it was changed to Warner. So what happened is we entered information on the publisher, Replication carried it through to the subscriber, and EDA on the subscriber passed it through to SQL. So when you do all this, you're going to map all your EDA files first and then set up replication. You could do it the other way. You could set up replication and then map the files for EDA. But in my experience, it just works much better to get all the EDA stuff worked out, because you might be spending a little bit of time getting things cleaned up. And for more information on that, you want to check out another one of our videos, which addresses dealing with dirty data. That portion of EDA, of the EDA process, can take some time to get things worked out. And so I like to do that in an offline format rather than something that may be already set up to be replicated. Now we're going to be playing around with it. It just doesn't work very well. So, that's my recommendation. We would want to go ahead, get all your EDA mapping set up, and then get that server set up for EDA access. So there are some other courses here. Hopefully you've already seen the introduction to EDA and the others that are remaining: understanding SQL and multivariate data structures and dealing with dirty data. So thanks, and we will see you in the next video.